hot. Has his quitting story not cooled as received stones raining from radio hosts over wealthy? Prince Harry has been widely mocked for suggesting people who quit their jobs due to mental health problems should be celebrated. Commentators pointed out the Duke of Sussex is very wealthy. He has also been mocked by radio hosts for his comments about the mental health benefits when people quit jobs that don't bring joy. Prince Harry has come under fire over his comments about resignation, with critics saying if anyone knows the joys of quitting their job it's Prince Harry. In a recent interview, the Duke of Sussex was asked what he thought about people resigning from their jobs after suffering burnout, in what has been dubbed the Great Resignation. Talking with BetterUp, a mental health-orientated consultancy firm he now works for as Chief Impact Officer, Harry replied that it can be good for people to quit. The comments come as Prince Harry has been criticized for his statements made about resignations during the COVID pandemic. He stated that the resignations aren't all bad, in a Q&A with Fast Company, adding that people prioritizing their mental health and happiness first should be celebrated. While on the surface it looks like these last couple of years brought all these issues to the foreground, the reality is these struggles and issues have been brewing for quite some time. We're just at the beginning of the mental health awakening. Laughing about Prince Harry's well-meaning remarks on talk radio, hosts Mike Graham and Kevin O'Sullivan pointed out he is speaking from a position of enormous wealth. Mike asked, "Have you ever thought about quitting your job because it doesn't bring you any joy? It would be alright if you had 30 million in the bank," he added. Kevin added, "They call it the Great Resignation because all over the world, particularly in America and Britain, literally millions of people have quit their jobs because of the lockdowns and gave them a new perspective on life." Well, I would suggest that a lot of them are going to find out that the reason you have a job is to get money. Yes, and if you don't have any money you're gonna find you have a lot more mental health problems than you did when you had a job and you had money. Sky News host Chris Smith said if anyone knows the joys of quitting their job, it's Prince Harry. He added, he said overnight that leaving work is something to be celebrated. I'm sorry, but there's a big difference between reasonable resignation and just quitting. Easy to do of course with the royal inheritance. Social commentator Prue McSween said, exactly. No one I know would like to be a royal. I think it would probably be the worst job in the world. Mr. Smith chimed in saying, I'll have it. 3 palaces, 20 cars, butlers, yes, please bring it on. Ms. McSween said, Prince William and the Queen, you know, she has a sense of duty. And most royals have a sense of duty. This entitled young man who is spurred on by his missus said that it was a dysfunctional family. Well, she would know the criteria of a dysfunctional family. She added, this whole job was just too hard. I have no problem with people generally who are unhappy in their jobs and finding it's affecting their mental health deciding to move, and I think that was the thrust of his argument. But when it's coming out of his lips, when he's sitting there inching on his $60 million plus budget and very happily trading, sniping inside stories about the royals, well then, you know, you just have to take it with a grain of salt. The comments have certainly sparked debate, with some branding the prince out of touch, but others agreeing with his statements. Some have come out in Harry's defense over the comments. Shola Mosshogbanima slammed Prince Harry's critics as she defended the Duke's latest mental health appeal on the Jeremy Vine show. She said, wealth or no wealth, nothing is preventing Prince Harry from speaking sense.